Motherboard. The motherboard is a large flat circuit board inside your computer where every other component connects. The processor, memory, graphics card, storage, and power cables all end up here. If something plugs in, it plugs into the motherboard. Its job is not speed or power, but communication. It allows electricity and data to move between parts so they can work together instead of waiting on each other. Without it, every component would be powerful but useless in isolation, unable to coordinate or share information across the system. That's why the motherboard is often called the heart of the computer, although it's closer to the nervous system. It doesn't calculate anything, and it doesn't store data. It simply makes sure signals arrive at the right place at the right time. Despite this, motherboards are usually cheaper than processors and graphics cards. For most people, the motherboard doesn't make a system faster. It mainly decides what is possible later, like upgrades, expansion, and compatibility. Things like how much RAM you can install or which CPUs are supported depend on it. Unless you are pushing limits, a solid mid-range board is enough and rarely needs attention. CPU processor. The CPU, or Central Processing Unit, is a small square chip that sits on the motherboard, usually under a cooler. This is the brain of the computer. Every click, every key press, every app launch goes through the CPU, even when the system looks idle. It handles logic, decisions, and timing, telling the rest of the computer what to do next. Even background tasks constantly pass through it, quietly consuming processing time. Here's the important reality check. Most CPUs are rarely used at full power. For browsing, streaming, or office work, the processor often waits for other components. High-end CPUs shine in video editing, programming, simulations, and professional workloads. For everyday use, a good mid-range CPU already feels fast and responsive. When computers slow down over time, it's usually not because the CPU became weak. It's because the workload changed and something else became the bottleneck. Software rarely slows computers alone. Performance drops when programs demand more memory, storage access, or graphics work than the hardware can deliver smoothly, creating delays users interpret as system weakness. RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory, and it works as short-term memory. It temporarily holds data the CPU needs right now, so it doesn't have to wait for slower storage. A simple way to picture this is storage as a garage full of boxes, while RAM is the desk in front of you. You can't fit everything on the desk, but whatever is there is instantly available. Clearing the desk takes time, and so does running out of RAM under pressure. More RAM means smoother multitasking, faster switching between apps, and fewer freezes when many things are open at once. It doesn't increase intelligence, it reduces waiting. But RAM has one strict rule. When the computer turns off, everything in RAM disappears. No memory, no backup. For most users, 8 GB works. 16 GB feels comfortable, and anything beyond that mainly benefits heavy multitaskers or professional software. Most slowdowns come from imbalance, not failure. Understanding workloads helps choose upgrades that actually improve real-world performance for everyday users. Storage. Storage is where everything lives permanently. Your operating system, programs, photos, videos, and files all sit here. Traditional hard drives use spinning disks and a small moving arm to read data. They are cheap and can store a lot, but they are slow, especially when many small files are involved. Solid-state drives, or SSDs, use memory chips instead. No moving parts, no waiting for disk to spin. This single difference changes the entire experience. Two computers with the same CPU and RAM can feel completely different just because of storage. Systems with SSDs boot faster, open programs quicker, and feel more responsive overall. Hard drives don't break performance, they quietly waste time. If there is one upgrade that transforms almost any computer, it's switching from a hard drive to an SSD, graphics card. The graphics card, or GPU, handles everything you see on the screen. Images, videos, animations, and games all go through it. If the CPU is the thinker, the GPU is the artist, constantly deciding which pixels light up and how fast they change. Modern interfaces rely on it more than most people realize, even outside of games. Dedicated graphics cards are separate components with their own memory and processing power. They are powerful and expensive, and they are essential for gaming, video editing, and 3D work. Integrated graphics are built into the CPU. They are weaker, but perfectly fine for browsing, streaming, and everyday tasks. If you don't game or do creative work, a dedicated GPU often adds cost without benefit. Power supply. The power supply converts electricity from your wall into stable power for your computer. Every component depends on it, yet it's often ignored. A good power supply delivers clean, consistent power under all conditions. A bad one causes crashes, instability, or even damaged hardware over time. This is not the place to save money. A computer can survive weak performance, but it cannot survive unstable power. The power supply doesn't make systems faster, but it decides whether they remain reliable. Cooling system. Computers generate heat, especially the CPU and graphics card under load. When temperatures rise too high, components slow themselves down to prevent damage. This automatic slowdown is invisible, but very real. Cooling systems exist to stop that from happening and to maintain predictable performance during sustained use. Most computers use air cooling with fans and heat sinks. It's simple, reliable, and effective for most users. Liquid cooling exists as well. It's quieter and more efficient, but also more complex and expensive. Good cooling doesn't just protect hardware, it protects performance consistency over time. Case. The case is the outer shell that holds everything together. It protects components, controls air circulation, and defines how easy upgrades and maintenance will be. A case doesn't increase raw performance, but a bad one can make a system louder, hotter, and frustrating to work with. Size, airflow, and build quality matter. Cable management matters more than people admit. And yes, appearance matters too. A good case disappears into the background. A bad one reminds you of its existence every single day. So those are the components that actually matter. Not individually, but together. Computers don't feel slow because one part is bad. They feel slow because parts are unbalanced, poorly matched, or chosen without understanding real usage. Once you understand that, upgrades stop being guesses and start becoming decisions.